Hello everyone, this is POW. In this video, these upcoming storms are going to be packing a punch with giant hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all my daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. So let's get right to it. Here's the latest satellite picture as of this morning, April the 8th. And man, these storms that came through East Texas yesterday, as well as Arkansas, Louisiana, here in Mississippi, now this morning they're still have a lot of lightning with these in southern Alabama, as well as the Florida Panhandle. And this comma queue extends all the way to the north. Brought some welcome rain into South Dakota region, as well as into Minnesota and Wisconsin. And these will continue shift off to the east later on today. But it's been an active week. I mean, let's go over the storms that kind of came through so far. These are all kind of preliminary reports. This was first back on the 5th with this setup right around here into South Dakota, as well as Minnesota, with those storm reports on the 5th. And then we also had that other system that just kind of dived down here into Kansas, where they picked up some 2.5-inch hail in portions of Kansas, and getting into Nebraska with their storm reports here with some hail and wind. And then yesterday, now the preliminary report so far basically has 3 tornadoes so far, 48 wind reports, and 6 hail reports with that storm system that moved across Iowa into Missouri and Arkansas into East Texas yesterday and Louisiana. And it shifted off into Mississippi into the overnight. So this is the preliminary guidance so far. That's already been an active week. And yes, we have another disturbance that's going to be coming across from west to east. And this one may even be stronger than the last one, because, man, the latest data looks pretty serious. As we extend the view, like I mentioned, that satellite picture with that first and original storm system, that will continue shifting off till further onto the east today, where they just have a marginal risk for severe weather getting into portions extending from Detroit, Michigan, all the way down to New Orleans, right along that band there, setting up in Birmingham, getting into Louisville, Kentucky, and Indianapolis. So all these areas are going to be having some stronger storms as these continue shifting off to the east later on today. But yeah, by tomorrow, man, this atmosphere reloads. And yes, there's another dynamic system that's going to be coming into Texas right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the Storm Prediction Center has already elevated the risk from a slight to an enhanced risk for a good chunk from the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way to Jackson, Mississippi, for those large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Here's your overall wind threat. So basically what's going to happen is this setup is going to be setting up a very large hail threat in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is the first hatch risk that you've seen in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They're expecting anywhere from 2-inch plus hailstones right around the Dallas-Fort Worth area as that dry line shifts off a little bit closer in to Texas as we get into the heating of the afternoon. That will set the stage for that large hail event that's going to be possibly happening if the cap breaks over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I mean, some of the latest wording from the National Weather Center, I mean, they're talking giant hail, and they don't use that wording lightly. I mean, this is coming directly from the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service, talking about potential for giant hail in the Dallas-Fort Worth area before sunset tomorrow evening. So essentially after 4 o'clock, as these storms look to fire right around the I-35 corridor, and then literally shift east as we extend into the evening. And as it shifts further east, it becomes more tornadic as we get into places into Jackson, Mississippi, just east of Shreveport here. So that's going to be your bullseye for a little bit more, the lapse rates are going to be a little bit higher. The shear in the atmosphere is going to be a little bit greater. So that's your greater opportunity for your tornado risk. And then that same area will also see a wind risk as well. So it's less likely you see a tornado in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but it's more likely hail is your primary concern tomorrow evening, at late afternoon and tomorrow evening, in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And this lasts for about 24 hours. They originate right along in the Dallas-Fort Worth corridor, but over the 24-hour period, they will extend from west-east right along this enhanced risk zone. And I fully expect in some of these areas we'll actually go to a moderate risk as we get the overnight reports from the Storm Prediction Center, because a lot of the dynamics are there to justify that. But either way, we're talking about a big event, an extended event, a long duration event, a 24-hour event of significant weather right along this band from Dallas to say Jackson, Mississippi over that 24-hour time span. It's going to be some gnarly weather as this continues shifting off to the east and eventually getting into the Birmingham, Alabama, and eventually getting into Atlanta. So let me kind of walk you through the dynamics here. Here's the Cape values right around 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow evening in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Here's the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So we're going to have a lot of warm air to the south. I mean, we're talking possibly 106 degrees tomorrow in Laredo, Texas. I mean, maybe 101 in San Antonio. So there's a lot of heat surging from the south, and that with that south wind, we also have a dry line we're watching out from the west, and then we have a cold front out ahead of it. But man, look at the depiction here of these Cape values that are extending over 3,000. So that's an extreme Cape, and we have a lot of updrafts with these systems. So as the dynamics kind of come together, and as the south wind kicks in with that warmer temperatures coming from the south, as the dry line meets, as the cold front approaches, that could be enough to weaken the cap that's going to be over a place, and the cold front's going to bring that cold air aloft. That's going to create the hail, and with the updrafts that are going to be coming in, man, that's going to create possibly the giant hail. We're talking possibly baseball size hail potential or greater tomorrow afternoon. We're talking this is a conditional risk. Probably about 30 to 40% of you are probably has over coverage. So it's not a widespread event, but we're talking isolated, discrete, possibly supercells forming. And when they're discrete, they're able to tower up in a big way, and that's where that isolated hail threat is going to be coming into play later on tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Here's your lightning index by 4 o'clock. So it's kind of hinting at about 4 o'clock, storms should fire right off the dry line, right along the I-35 corridor, and literally shift east as we go throughout the day into the evening hour. And then we could have a secondary band, because this would be your cold front up here. We could have a secondary band that comes in later. And if you look at the latest NAM 3K, it's kind of implying that this is midnight. So we're talking possibly a 1-2 punch in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of a very large hail threat right before sunset. And then that kind of shifts off into the east. And then we have to watch from the north as a squall line would form possibly along the cold front by 10, 11, 12 o'clock. That will also swing through and also bring a high wind and hail threat as well. Probably not as big as the one before, because these are more of a linear band and not discrete. But these will continue shifting off into Missouri here, setting up into Arkansas, and eventually into East Texas as this continues shifting off into the southeast. And man, look at the tornado index by the time we go into the overnight on Friday. So I mentioned the dynamics coming come a little bit more into play for possibly tornadoes as we get extending further into getting into not East Texas, but as you go into Arkansas, Louisiana, here in Mississippi. That is going to be your higher tornado threat as the dynamics are coming together for that higher risk for tornadoes over this part of the area. And as this continues shifting off, here's the model. Like I mentioned, it's going to be a 24-hour event. So this is an extended duration. So it's more of a hail threat over the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then shifting into more of a damaging wind threat and tornado threat as we get further into Arkansas here, into Louisiana, as well as Mississippi. And then the further east you get, it kind of dies off and settles down, beyond that 24-hour window. So, because by the time we get into, Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon, that band will continue shifting off into the east and creating another, comma queue, extending that rain into Missouri, into Illinois, get into southern portions of Wisconsin here, into Indiana, and then that bow echo here setting up again with these straight line winds into Kentucky, into Tennessee, getting into Georgia, and then I'll be along the coast here, the Florida Panhandle, by then as we get into the noon time on Saturday. But as that severe weather continues to shift off to the east, that's going to continue having that severe threat. And the Storm Prediction Center by Saturday still has a slight risk for severe weather extending from New Orleans into Montgomery, Alabama, into Mobile, into Columbus, into Tallahassee, Florida. So all these areas are going to be under the gun for those damaging winds, straight line winds, some larger hail, but not nearly as large as what they're going to be seeing in Dallas. And then an isolated tornado threat is not out of the question as this continues shifting off. And then you can't rule out portions into Atlanta, into Louisville, Kentucky, as well as into Birmingham. Can't rule out those areas having some isolated threat for, some severe storms, more stronger storms just for you guys as this continues shifting off. But as we get further into the day on Saturday, that bow echo will continue shifting off. That'll push the rain a little bit further into portions of Ohio again. Now they're going to be needing some, much needed rain. They've been fairly dry in Ohio as this continues shifting off into the Carolinas, even into Virginia. By the time we get into Saturday and then into Sunday, that doesn't have a severe threat by then, but we're still going to be getting some rain going to be extending up the coastline, going into the mid-Atlantic states, getting into portions of Pennsylvania, into New York, along the I-95 corridor here. And then again, that comma queue in the backside will bring some rain on the backside from Wisconsin, get into Illinois as well as Ohio. And this will continue shifting off into the east. And by the time we get into Monday, it clears out pretty nicely as this system will continue to shifting off into the east. And then we got some cold weather we're going to be contending with by the beginning of next week. You can definitely see some colder temperatures going to be extending from the northwest. I mean, these below average temperatures is going to really clear things out really nicely as you're going to be having to deal with an active week for severe weather. So here's your precipitation just between now and say Sunday and Monday as these systems finally clear the coast. I mean, you can see hardly anything that's going on into California and the Four Corners regions, into portions of West Texas, where it's going to be very dry in this part of the country. And most of the action is going to be particularly going to be starting from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, getting into Louisiana, especially with some flood risk possibly into Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama and portions of the Florida Panhandle into Georgia. But even into western Tennessee and Kentucky and get into Illinois, you're going to be picking up at least 2 to 4 inches of rain. Is not out of the question, as these systems will be very active over the next 3 to 4 days as they originate from basically Dallas and they continue shifting off into the east and finally leaving the coast by the time we get into Sunday and especially into Monday, where I told you that colder air will finally filter in from the northwest. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.